Welcome to Pause and Practice 6-3. In this video, we'll be working to complete financial planning worksheet for Paradise Lakes Resort staff, as well as updating employee data sheets using text functions. The first thing we're looking at is a monthly annuity payout. So the present value of being paid $2,000 a month for 10 years at 7% rate of return. So it's asking you how much money you need to have right now to be able to do that. Pay yourself $2,000 a month for 10 years. So you can calculate this using the financials, present value, PV. So the current rate is the rate of return, 7%. So we need to divide by 12 because it's monthly payments. M/per is the number of payment periods in an investment, simply 10. We need to multiply this by 12 because it's, again, monthly payments. So it's 12 months over 10 years, so a total of 120 payments. Payment is actually the $2,000. We're not going over the future value because we're saying it's all going to be used up by the time we get to the end. It'll be 0 at the end. And the type is 1 because we're getting paid at the beginning of the period rather than at the end of the period. So this is saying that you'd have to have an annuity or an insurance policy cost over $173,000 to pay out $2,000 monthly for 10 years, earning 7% interest. So think about that if you're retiring. If you'd like to maintain a $2,000 salary monthly for at least 10 years, expecting your investment to earn 7% a month or 7% annually, you need to have saved $173,000 in order to do so. So next we're going to use the future value function. How much do we think our money that we have now, continuing to invest, how much will it be worth at the end of the time period? So selecting cell F9 here, again financials, we're going to choose future value FV. So in this instance we have, again, F7 for the rate. And we're saying we're paying it once a year. It's a yearly deposit. So the number of payments, this is 15, so we're paying 15 years. So again, we're just doing yearly deposits. The payment of $2,000. Present value, so we have no money in this whatsoever. And the type is 0. Because we're paying at the end of the year and not the beginning of the year. So, if you invest $2,000 a year for 15 years at 4.5% rate of return, you'll have $41,568 at the end of those 15 years. This is assuming you've put in only $30,000 over those 15 years. So you've actually earned $11,568 in 15 years. Now, we're going to be doing this again with the net present value function. So again, doing the financials tab, and we want the net present value. So the rate, we want the C13 for the annual discount rate. In value 1, we're going to select cell C15, right? We're going to select value 2 to be the second year return, and $7,100 for C17 to be the third year return. We'll press OK. So now we're going to add something in here, right? And so then we're going to come up here to the formula bar. We're going to say we're going to add plus our initial cost of our investment. And then pressing enter, it has a net present value of $2,144.25. So now we're going to use our text join function. Coming down to our title and email, we're going to join some text. We're going to select cell C3, and so we're going to join our first name and last name into a combined name. So now we're going to use text join, And so the delimiter here is what's separating them. We want the spacebar to separate them. We're going to ignore empties. Our text 1 will simply be this A3. Our text 2 will be this B3. And then we can press OK. And then you can see we have A3, our space with our delimiter, and then B3. And now we can actually fill down. You can see it's done this for all of these individuals here. Now we want to make column C 19.29 or 140 pixels wide. Next, we're going to use the replace function. We're going to select cell E3. We're going to go up here to text. And we're going to choose replace. And then we have the option for old text, the starting number, characteristics, and the new text. Well, we're going to select cell D3 for the old text. Starting number is 1. So it's the position that we're going to be editing into. The number of characters we're going to be editing, 5 characters. And the new text, we would type in PLR. I'm going to press OK. You'll see now instead of saying sales representative, it says PLR representative. And then we're going to replace all by filling down. So again, PLR manager becomes sales trainee to PLR trainee. And now we can say hide column D, right click on column D, click on hide, and then we don't even see the old title anymore. Now we can use the exact function. So we can see if these two email addresses match. So oftentimes you see yourself having to enter the email address twice on a website, and they actually do a match function to make sure they actually match up with one another, make sure you're not typing it in incorrectly. So we're going to type it in manually. We're going to type equals EX. You'll see exact pop up when we press tab. We can select G3 for text argument 1, comma, and then select cell H3, which we're comparing it against, and pressing enter. You'll see it come up as true. And then we're going to fill this down to the rest of the column. You'll see that some falses do show up. We're going to apply a highlighting cells rule to cells I4 to I25. So highlighting all these cells, going up to our Home tab, Conditional Formatting, Highlight Cells Rule, and we would say text that contains. So only text that contains the text false. And we want to highlight with light red fill with dark red text. Press OK, and there you have it. And that's the end of Pause and Practice 6-3.